Okay, guys, just 1 minute. I'm starting up. Hmm. Okay, guys. So here you have it. Okay, guys, let's start here on the Azure data engineering. So, guys, yesterday already we have seen what is the Azure data engineering, everyone. So we have already seen what is the Azure data engineering. So, guys, the Azure data engineering is nothing but everyone. The Azure data engineering is nothing but, as already you know, I'm just brushing up, guys, before we move further. So Azure data engineering is nothing but, guys. So Azure is the name used by the Microsoft to market their cloud services, wherein data is nothing but what, guys? Information. Data is nothing but what, guys? Information. Data is nothing but what? Information. And engineering is nothing but what, guys? Application of techniques. Application of techniques is nothing but the engineering here. So application of techniques on the data by using the Microsoft Azure is called as what? Azure data engineering. So Azure data engineering is a complete cloud service. It's a bunch of cloud services, guys. It's a bunch of cloud services. The Azure data engineering is a bunch of cloud services. Okay, everyone. It's a bunch of cloud services, guys. Everyone. So Azure data engineering is a bunch of cloud services. Okay, it's a bunch of cloud services. So what are the cloud services included in the Azure data engineering? We can say the following services are there, guys. The first one we can say it as what? ADF, which is stands for Azure Data Factory. And then you have the ADB, which stands for the Azure Databricks, guys. And then we have what's it, guys? Synapse is the another one service we have it. Then we have the next service here. We can say Fabric. Then we can also have the service called what, guys? Open AI. Okay. Then apart from this Open AI, we also have the service given here in the Azure that is called as Azure AI. See, guys, Azure AI is different. Azure OpenAI is different, guys. OpenAI, actually, this is the chat GPT service we have it, but we are integrating into the Azure. So hence we call it as what? OpenAI. So OpenAI and the AI here we have it. Okay, guys. OpenAI and the AI. So these are all the services we have it, guys. So, but using these services, what are the things we can do it? So as it's a bunch of cloud services, guys, here we can perform the following task using the Azure data engineering and its services. We don't call it as a products, case. We call it as what? Service here. Products, modules, we don't call. We call it as a service here, guys. Okay. So we can say the Azure data engineering is a cloud service. It's a bunch of cloud services. It's a bunch of cloud services where in it provides the following. What is it? You have it? The first one we call it as what? Data migration. Data migration. So it can perform the data migration service. It can provide the data integration service. Data migration service, data integration service, and then we have the data summarization service. And then we have the data visualization service. Data visualization service. These are all the services we can have it, guys. Okay. We can have, these are all the services we can have. What's it? Data migration, guys. Data migration service. And then we can also have the data integration service. And then we have the data summarization service. And then we have the data visualization service. So these are all the services we have it in the Azure Data Engineering. That means using the Azure Data Engineering, we can perform the following task here, guys. But now, today, guys, we'll see the whole services, everything works on what, guys? The whole process starts from the data accumulation. We can say data gathering of the data, accumulation of the data. It starts from the data, guys. Okay. It starts from the data. It starts from the data. So data gathering, data accumulation, all this process, it starts from the data, guys. Data. So what is data? Data is nothing but what, guys? Information. So without the information, we cannot work. So data is the information. From where we get the information? We get the information from the source of information, guys. We get the information from the source of information, guys. We get the information from the source of information. What is the source of information, guys? We can get the data from the following sources. What is the sources? The first one, we can say it here as what, guys? The source of information. We can get it from what? The data, we get it from the information, and information we get it from the source of information. What is the source of information, guys? We can get the source of information from the following. What's that? I can say social networking sites. So what are the social networking sites we can have, guys? We can have those following social networking sites. That is called as what? Facebook, Insta. Okay, guys, we can have what's it, guys? Facebook, Insta. Everyone, we can have what's it, guys? Facebook, Insta, X. That is, we call it as a previously we used to call it as a Twitter. Facebook, Insta, Twitter. Then you can say LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Okay, guys. Then we can also call it as what, guys? WhatsApp. WhatsApp. Okay. WhatsApp. All these are called as what? Social networking sites. So these, etc. These all comes under the social networking sites. So these sites generates the massive amount of data, guys. Massive amount of data. So hence we can say this generates a massive amount of data. Massive amount of data. Massive amount of data. So we can say the data is nothing but here. You can say, guys, data is nothing but what? Information. And information, we get it from the source of information. And here we can say the following. We get the data from the social networking sites. And whereas, what are the social networking sites we can have? Facebook, okay, etc., Twitter, etc. All these are the social networking sites from where we get the data. And these sites generate the massive volume of the data, guys. Massive amount of data. This generates a massive amount of data, guys. Massive amount of data. So when we talk about the massive amount of data, guys, what are the other sources of data from where we can expect the data, guys? What are the other sources? This is the primary source, guys, I can say. This is the primary source where we can expect the data. What is the secondary sources? What are the various sources we can have from where we can get the data, guys? So we can say we can get the data or information from where? Everyone. From the source of information. What is the other source we can have, guys? We can say it is as what? Human generated or machine generated data. Means what, guys? Human generated data or the machine generated data. Everyone. Human
Sorry for
generated data.
interrupt.
Huh?
We are not seeing your screen.
Not seeing the screen. Just a minute. Sorry. Okay, guys. So now you got it.
Yes, thank you.
Now, guys. So we can get it what? Data or the information we can get it from the following source. This is the first source we can say from where we can get the data, guys. And the second one we can say, guys, the data or the information we can get it from the source of information. Source of information. And that source of information, guys, we can say it as what? It can be human generated data or machine generated data. Human generated data means what? The data generated by you and me are called as what? Human generated data. And machine generated data means what, guys? The data which is created or generated by the machine automatically. Such as you have Xerox machine is there, guys. That is one of the machine, am I right? It generates the data or not? In fact, it generates the data. You have a CT scan machine is there. You have a X-ray machine is there, and you have what is that, guys? You can also have the ECG machine. All this generates the data, guys. So we can say this data as the this data as the huge volume of the data. Huge volume of the data. Huge volume of the data. So guys, we can say what's that? Huge volume of the data. We can say huge volume of the data or massive amount of data. All this comes under what's that, guys? Huge volume of the data, etc. All this comes under what? The big data only. So the third one I can say, guys, we can get the data or the information, everyone. From what? We can get the data or the information from the source of information, guys. We can get the data or the information from the source of information. What's the source of information we can have, guys? Everyone, the source of information we can say it as what? Everyone, the source of information we can say it as what, guys? Banking applications. Banking applications. So we can get the data from what? Banking applications. That means the applications which are used at the banking sector level is called as what? Banking applications. Is called as what? Banking applications. We can get the data from the banking applications. So now tell me, when we talk about the banking applications, we can get the data from the banking applications. And banking applications are used at the banks. Okay. All the financial sectors it uses. Okay. Whereas this generates the, yes, guys, this generates what, guys? Everyone, this generates the huge volume of the data, which we call it as what? Big data. Which we call it as what, guys? Big data. We can also generate the massive amount of data. That is called as what? Big data. Then this, apart from this source, we can also get the data from a very important source and a very trending source right now in the market, where we get the very huge volume of the data from this source. That source is called as what, guys? Live streaming process. That source is called as what, guys? Live streaming process. That is called as what, guys? Live streaming process. We can say it as what? Live streaming process. So what is my live streaming process, guys? Any idea? Live streaming process. So guys, the live streaming process is nothing but that where we receive the data continuously. Live streaming process is nothing but where we receive the data on a continuous basis, guys. Just like the live cricket match. Now the IPL match is going on, where we get the data continuously. Am I right? So that is called as what? Score. And this score keeps on changing it every hour, sorry, not every hour, every 5 minutes it changes. Am I right? So this is called as what? Live streaming data, guys. Live streaming data. So this is actually the big data right now in the market. We are using it, right? And apart from this cricket match, what is the other thing we can have, guys? We can also have, what's it, guys? Cricket score. Apart from this cricket score, what's the other thing we have it, guys? We can say it as what, guys? Stock market. Stock market data. We can see it as what? Stock market data. So what is the stock market data, guys? The data which we get it from the share markets, stock market. All this comes under the big data only. All this comes under the big data only. Stock market, okay, guys, stock market, etc. All this comes under what? Big data only. So here we can say, guys, big data is nothing but one of the major and the vital part of the data engineering activity. That is called as data, big data. So guys, everyone is clear with the concept? Please tell me now. Now, when we talk about the data, guys, as we know, this is the sum of the source. And apart from this, we can also get the data, guys, from one more source that is called as what? IoT sensors. What are IoT sensors? Guys, the sensors, IoT sensors are those which is one of the considered as one of the major source of data where it generates the data, guys, where it generates the data from the source such as where it generates the data from the source such as what is it, guys? It records the, yes, guys, pressure, gas, records wind, temperature. All these are recorded here, guys. Okay, all these are recorded by the, all these are recorded by the, yes, guys, all these are recorded by what's it, guys? By the IoT sensors. By the IoT sensors. Okay, guys, by the IoT sensors. Where this is also called as the big data. This is also called as the big data, guys. This is also called as what, guys? Big data. This is also called as what? Big data. This is also called as what? Big data, guys. That's it. Okay. Now, guys, when we talk about the data, many other sources are there, but now I don't want to, waste my time by discussing all the sources. Anyways, we will see the sources in the near future. So all this data is called as what, guys? Big data. So what is my big data? The massive volume of the data is called as big data. The massive volume of the data is called as what, guys? Big data. The massive volume of the data is called as what? Big data, guys. The massive volume of the data is called as what? Big data. The massive volume of the data is called as what? Big data, guys. So we can say the massive volume of the data, the huge volume of the data is called as what, guys? Big data. Okay. What are the types of big data we can have, everyone? What are the types of big data? The big data is broadly classified, everyone. The big data is broadly classified into three categories. What is that? The first one is called as a structured data. The second one is called as a semi-structured data. And the third one is called as a unstructured data. Structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. These are the three categories of data where we can have it into the big data, guys. So let us discuss all of them, guys. The first one, what is it? You have it? Structured data. So what is the structured data? The
The
data which
data
is kept, yeah,
the data form in tables.
exactly. The data which is kept under the form of a table. That is the collection of what? Rows and columns. Is called as what, guys? Structured data. Then we have, guys, rows and columns. I'll write it down here. For example, EMP or employees is the table name. Then I can have the name, ID, salary, three columns, only three columns I'm giving it. Name, I'm giving it as Alan. ID number, salary is 50,000. Bobby, something like this, 60,000. Guys, can you see this data is kept in the form of what's it, guys? This data is kept in the proper form of rows and columns. This data is kept in the proper form of what, guys? Rows and columns. This data is kept in the proper form of rows and columns. So hence, this is called as a data called structured data, guys. That's it. Now, guys, what is the semi-structured data? The semi-structured data is nothing but the data which is recorded in the form of what, guys? JSON files, HTML files, XML files, all this is called as what, guys? The part of big data only. We can get it here. Okay, this type of files. So now, guys, let us try to discuss what is a JSON file. How does it looks like? The JSON stands for everyone JavaScript object notation file. JavaScript object notation file. We can have what? JavaScript object notation file. We can have what? JavaScript object notation file, guys. JavaScript object notation file. That is called as what? JSON. That is called as what, guys? JSON. JavaScript object notation file, which is called as what? JSON. And the JSON data is recorded in the form of what, guys? Everyone, key value pair. In the curly braces, the data is recorded. Curly braces, this is called as a flower braces. Flower braces, the data is recorded in the form of what? Key value pair. Key value pair. That's it, guys. Key value pair. So I can give the key value pair. So I'll write this data in the key value pair format. Let's see here. The key value pair. So guys, keys are nothing but what? These keys are nothing but columns. Key are nothing but what? Columns here. Column names are called as key values. So the key values are always kept in the double quotes like this. So the first name, I'm writing it name, colon, followed by its value. What's the value you have it, guys? The value you have it as a alien, comma, ID. Numeric data normally it is written like this, comma, whether the character column or numeric column, it's kept under the quotes only. The column names, that is called the keys. Salary, 30,000. It's done now, guys. So after this, you have one more row. So one more comma is given outside the braces here. And the same thing is repeated here like this. Now, guys, again, you have what's it doing? Name, ID. So what is this ID? You have it 54, comma. Guys, I can say it as 60,000. That's it. There is no further rows. Hence, Guys, there is no further rows, hence the radius is given like this. So now this is called as a key value pair. This is called as what? Key value pair. So we can say, guys, this is the key, this is the value, and both together is called as key value pair, guys. Key value pair. That's it, guys. Okay, key value pair. So hence we can say it as what? Key value pair, guys. So this is called as a semi-structured data. Now, guys, what do you mean unstructured data? Unstructured data is nothing but, guys, there is no structure for the data, which is called as what? Unstructured for the data. Means what, guys, everyone? So I can say the unstructured data is nothing but, I can say the following. What is the unstructured data? The unstructured data is nothing but the photos you have it in your mobile phone. Then you have the videos, chat history, photos, videos, chat histories, etc. These are all called as what? Unstructured data. So as a data engineer, we'll be dealing with all these three type of data. That is nothing but the main task or job of the data engineer is to convert this, what's it, guys? Unstructured data to the semi-structured, and then we have the semi-structured towards it gets structured. This all data we'll have to deal here with as a data engineer. That's it. Okay. So that's it, guys. These are the three different type of data. And from tomorrow, we'll have the regular sessions, guys. That's it. Okay. From tomorrow, we'll have the regular session. And this session will start up at 8 o'clock, guys, from tomorrow onwards. Okay. It will be starting at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, regular sessions will have it. Okay. So that's it, guys. So tomorrow, we are going to start with the first service here, guys. So as you know, all these are the services we have it. We are going to start with the first service. That service is called as what? ADB, guys. That we are going to see it as a Azure Database. It's the first service we are going to start it tomorrow. So tomorrow session we'll have it at 8 o'clock. That's it. Okay. Thank you everyone for attending the session. And if you have any doubts, as you already know, this is my number is also given here, and even my YouTube channel is also there. You can, if you want, you can just refer it, guys. That's it. Okay. I'm putting it in the chat box, my number and the YouTube channel. Meanwhile, if you have any doubt, you can just ask me, guys. That's it. Thank you everyone for attending the session. If you have any doubt, please ask me.
No questions.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.